Wojtek was born in the Middle East, effectively Iran. He travelled with them all through the Middle East, Palestine, Egypt and Italy. He ended up in Scotland, but he was only 4 when he came to Scotland, and he was 21 when he died. So effectively he was stranded here, but he, like so many of the Poles, so the Bear, effectively the Bear and the Poles were in the same situation. Many of the Poles didn't go back to Poland or couldn't go back to Poland. So they became part of the Scottish community, and they were very well respected and still are. But that, of course, when Poland became effectively free in 1989, then the whole story of Wojtek became very much symbolic to a partnership between the two countries. But I was so involved in that story that I could see an opportunity of doing something, telling the story of Wojtek, and also putting a symbol of thanks to the Polish people, through the memorial. The Polish community in Edinburgh have more or less adopted me. I didn't know too many of the Polish diaspora, until I started doing this job. And it's really quite fascinating because there's 2 distinct communities. There's the veterans and the people who came over here, post-war, and there's the new Poles. And the new Poles are probably the ones who have shown a great deal of interest in the Wojtek story, because I keep telling them it's part of their history. And they've as much right to be here, as the Bear. And we got a lot of fun with the children, talking about the Bear. But of course it has a darker side, and that comes with the older community who came over post-war, and who many of them couldn't, or felt they couldn't go back, to a communist regime, and stayed in Britain and the Commonwealth countries. And so it's a very vibrant community. But my interest is really with Polish schools and young people, who are coming up, and telling them the story especially. I've probably got more out of working with the Polish community than they've had from me, I think, because I mean, days like today, working with the children, it's just great fun, and listening to and watching the children drawing Wojtek and having fun, There's a very serious message, though, of course, that you are now keeping children who are not in what would be probably their own country, but still keeping these roots, alive and well. And I think that's incredibly important. I also think it's incredibly important that children from other who have even parents from other countries, keep up that tradition, those roots, from their home countries. I like the idea of Polish children being able to speak Polish freely, I would love to speak Polish, and they're trying very hard to teach me Polish, and failing terribly, I have to tell you. But it's all summed up with one of the wee girls from Polish school. She was only 5 when she said this to me, and I was sitting with her in the beginners class in the Polish school. And she looked up in my face and she said, "Mrs. Orr, can you speak Polish?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm sorry, I can't speak Polish. It's so difficult." And she looked up at me with big blue eyes and said, "Well, you'll just have to try harder." And so I'm really trying hard to do this.